the Nigeria Women's Football League, Aisha Falode, joins me now on the news to talk more about the Nigeria Women's League. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, after several postponements, finally the Women's League is functional. Are you satisfied with the standard of football on display?
We didn't have several postponements. We had a delayed kickoff of the season. The delayed kickoff was as a result of girls who were involved in other international matches. The club requested for it. They wanted their full complement of their top players when the league begins, and that was what delayed our kickoff. And once we kicked off, we've had a smooth running. Now we introduced a new format this season. The format is that in place of where we used to have the 16 teams divided into two groups, A and B, and then you have the top two going for the Super Four to determine the season's winner. We now have a format of 4 groups of 4 teams each, A to D. It makes it more competitive. It makes it more compact. It makes the Super Four, the race for the Super Four, more competitive, such that in every of the match fixture, you either strive to win or you are pushing the Super 4 slot further away from you. So we are very happy with how this format is playing out. Okay. We've not had any incidents. We've had good reports across the venue. The media interest has also increased. We have also increased our online presence. The fans have returned to the stadium, and we have deliberately not played our matches at weekends. We play during the midweek, okay, so we can find our own space for expression.
All right. Now, when you came on board, one of the promises you made was that you would take care of the welfare of these players, which has always been some problem anyway. How much of this has been put to practice? Well,
that is why we have continued to appeal to the owners of the clubs, in this case the state governments and state governors. 99.9% of our Premier League clubs are owned by government. Only 2 of the 16 teams are owned by private individuals in the Premier League. For the state government, they have tried to do the best they can for the teams. We are encouraged by the response that we are getting now. The welfare of players is of paramount to the governments who own these clubs now. Only before the start of the season, we had the government of Edo State give a brand new coaster bus, I think it's 32-seater, to Edo Queens, just to make their road trip very comfortable. We have had Heartland Queens, Heartland Angels, who struggled in the last season to even meet up with away games. Now they are on time for their away games. They play their home matches. The issues of non-availability of funds to prosecute their matches is put behind them. So I would say that from at the point we started, when we were given the charge of the management of the Women's League, before us and now, there is some progress. Yeah, there's some progress.
All right. Okay then. Now, the NFF earlier promised that the league will be funded. How much of this promise has been met by the NFF?
You see, Women's League all over the world has always struggled, which is why the issues with the equal pay agitation in the United States now didn't start today. It started even from funding of the women's game. The United States Women's League in some years back had to take a break because there was no investment, there was no sponsorship. In Africa, it is also, this situation is heightened because of our peculiar environment. We have done everything we can as a board. That is why we said we were going to be paying the referees indemnities, because we wanted a credible and transparent league. We didn't want anything to corrupt the results and bring about some kind of unfair officiating in the Women's League. Right. And the NFF on their own, kudos to the president of the NFF, Ahmad Jupinik. He has also hit the ground running, trying to look for where they can get the sponsorship for the women's league.
All right, Chairperson Nigeria Football League, Aisha Falode Amos, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Absolutely. Aisha Falode was here recently, and of course she talked about the fact that FIFA is interested in having Nigeria host the World. Well, the inspection, FIFA people were in Nigeria to look at the facilities available in the country. This, of course, followed Nigeria's bid to host the 2020 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Well, as good as this really sounds, the idea of hosting the Women's World Cup have attracted divergent views and reactions, as some persons think it is a good move, while others are of the opinion that football authorities in Nigeria should focus more on developing women's football in the country. Aisha Falode is a board member of the Nigeria Football Federation and head of the Nigeria Women's League. She gave reasons why the World Cup bid should be supported by every Nigerian.
For those who would think that it is not the time for us to do this, I would have to convince them and ask them to have an open mind. See, hosting any global events cannot be anything but good for the country. We saw the global attention that the Women's World Cup brought to France, and that was strategic, it was deliberate. Before now, we thought that the Women's World Cup prior France was the biggest, was the best. But now FIFA has to be strategic in executing that World Cup in France. They wanted to use that World Cup to grow and develop women's game all around the world. They wanted to use it to showcase the women's game all around the world. They wanted for you to see the opportunity in government and leading that is possible using the girl child. They wanted you to have the communication and commercialization in women's football, and they wanted women's football to be used as a tool for education and empowerment.
TVC Sport Desk.
A board member of the Nigeria Football Federation and head of Nigeria's Women Football League, Aisha Falode, has urged Nigerians at home and in diaspora to support the country's bid to host the 2020 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The idea of hosting the Women's World Cup has divided the Nigerian football fraternity. Some stakeholders say it is a good move, while others are of the opinion that football authorities in Nigeria should focus more on developing women's football in the country. But Falode has given reasons why the World Cup bid should be supported by every Nigerian.
Once this bid we are successful and is given to us, we will be the beneficiaries. FIFA is bringing its own money here to spend. FIFA is a global titan when it comes to the purse. They are an organization that has built a reputation over the years, both in terms of investment and return on investment. They are bringing between $6 to $8 million to invest in the Nigerian economy. That is aside the money that the participating countries, the 16 of them, will be bringing, starting from when the winner of the bid, once you are announced as the host, the draw for the Women's World Cup will be held in Nigeria. The 16 teams will be coming with their officials. They will be looking for training sites and camps in Nigeria. We have been on a tour with the FIFA team. I was quite amazed and truly very proud of the kind of infrastructure that I saw in some of the states that we went to.